Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered if we're truly alone? Or maybe the bigger question isn't, are they out there? But, are they already here? Imagine a secret world, hidden in plain sight, where an advanced civilization walks among us. This isn't the plot of a new sci-fi blockbuster. This is the astonishing account of a man named Charles Hall, a former U.S. Air Force weather observer, who claims he spent years in regular, peaceful interaction with beings strikingly similar to humans right here on Earth. The details are compelling, the implications profound. Could his claims be the missing link to understanding our place in the universe, or a brilliant deception? Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the Tall Whites. Our story begins in the mid-1960s at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada, a sprawling remote military complex known for its secrecy. This is the same region that houses the infamous Area 51. It was here that a young airman, Charles Hall, was assigned to a desolate weather observation post on the Indian Springs Gunnery Ranges. His job was simple: collect weather data. But what he says he experienced there was anything but simple. According to Hall, he wasn't alone in the desert. He began having encounters with a group of humanoid extraterrestrials he later dubbed the Tall Whites. He describes them as being exceptionally tall, thin, and pale, with large blue eyes and almost translucent white hair. Their appearance, while human-like, was distinct enough to be unsettling. Hall claims these beings had been operating on Earth for centuries, perhaps even millennia, in a quiet, symbiotic relationship with the U.S. military. In his series of books, titled Millennial Hospitality, Hall recounts his experiences in vivid detail. He describes these beings as having their own culture, their own families, and even their own children. They weren't invaders or conquerors. They were more like long-term visitors using this remote part of the Nevada desert as a sort of transfer station or base for their interstellar travels. The technology they possessed was, as you can imagine, light years ahead of our own. Hall speaks of their spacecraft, capable of moving at incredible speeds and making maneuvers that defy our understanding of physics. One of the most fascinating aspects of Hall's account is the nature of his interactions. They weren't dramatic Hollywood-style confrontations. Instead, they were gradual and often tense. Initially, Hall was terrified. These beings were physically intimidating, and their thought processes were so rapid that they often seemed emotionless or even hostile. He describes moments of sheer panic, running for his life through the desert scrub. But over time, a strange kind of understanding developed. He learned to read their subtle cues, and they in turn began to tolerate his presence. He claims he even developed a sort of friendship with one of the Tall Whites, a female he called the Teacher. She would bring her child to observe him, and through these cautious interactions, Hall began to learn about their way of life. He learned that they had a lifespan of around 800 years, and that their children grew much faster than human children. Hall claims the U.S. government was fully aware of the Tall Whites. In fact, he alleges there was an agreement in place. The military provided the Tall Whites with a secure private location and, in exchange, received access to some of their advanced technology. This would explain the rapid technological leaps we saw in the late 20th century, particularly in aerospace and materials science. According to Hall, other military personnel knew about the Tall Whites, but there was a strict, unspoken code of silence. It was a secret you kept or you faced serious consequences. So, what do we make of all this? Charles Hall presents himself as a credible witness. He's a nuclear physicist with a master's degree, a family man with a long career. He speaks calmly and consistently about his experiences, without the usual sensationalism you might expect. He doesn't claim to be a chosen prophet or a special contactee. He was just a guy doing his job who stumbled into something extraordinary. His descriptions of the Nevada desert, the military procedures, and the base's atmosphere are incredibly detailed and have been verified by others who served there. Skeptics, of course, have other theories. They argue that Hall might have been hallucinating due to the isolation and stress of his remote post. The harsh desert environment is known to play tricks on the mind. Others suggest he could have misinterpreted encounters with secretive military projects or personnel in advanced test suits. Could the Tall Whites have been human test pilots or experimental technology? It's a plausible explanation, especially given the location. The military is known for its psychological operations and its ability to create cover stories to protect its real secrets. However, some high-ranking individuals have lent credence to stories like Hall's. In 2013, Paul Hellyer, the former Canadian Minister of National Defense, publicly stated that aliens are real and have been visiting Earth for thousands of years. He specifically mentioned the tall whites and vouched for Charles Hall's story, claiming to have confirmed parts of it through his own high-level sources. When a person of Hellyer's stature speaks out, it makes you pause and reconsider. The tall white story also shares common threads with other accounts from around the world. The description of tall, pale, humanoid beings is a recurring theme in ufology, often referred to as Nordic aliens. Are these all separate, unrelated delusions, or are different people in different places describing the same phenomenon? Hall's account is unique because it's not about a fleeting glimpse of a UFO or a brief, confusing abduction. It's a story of long-term cohabitation. He describes the mundane, day-to-day reality of living alongside an alien species. He talks about their picnics, their family squabbles, and their curiosity about human things, like our clothing and our habits. This level of detail makes the story either incredibly authentic or an incredibly elaborate work of fiction. If Hall is telling the truth, the implications are staggering. It means our governments have been hiding the single most important fact in human history. It means that we share our planet with a species far more advanced than our own. It changes everything we think we know about our place in the cosmos. It forces us to ask, why the secrecy? Is it to prevent mass panic, as the government often claims? Or is it to control the advanced technology they've acquired? On the other hand, if Hall's story is a fabrication, it's one of the most detailed and compelling in the history of UFO lore. He has written multiple books, given countless interviews, and has stuck to his story for decades. Is he a master storyteller, a brilliant deceiver, or someone who genuinely believes what he's saying, regardless of its objective truth? Ultimately, the story of Charles Hall and the Tall Whites leaves us at a familiar crossroads in the world of unexplained phenomena. There are no definitive photos, no alien artifacts, no smoking gun. All we have is the testimony of a man and the corroborating, yet still circumstantial evidence from others. It's a story that challenges our worldview and forces us to question the reality we take for granted. What do you think? Could a secret, advanced civilization be living among us, hidden in the desolate corners of our world? Is Charles Hall a whistleblower telling a truth too fantastic to believe? Or is his tale a product of isolation, imagination, or something else entirely? The mystery remains. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of the most incredible stories out there. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Until next time, keep looking up and keep asking questions.